Today we'll be talking about Foundation of Media Analysis to cover the Week 2 assignment by Sydney Grant. The sections that we will be covering are 1. Media Analysis Research Takeaways, 2. Media Source Breakdown, which is a video called The Real Reason Why Black Male College Enrollment is Dropping by FD Signifier. And then we would also be covering the second media source, which is the Sinners trailer, a popular movie trailer that is presented by Warner Brothers and directed by Ryan Coogler. And then also the last section, which will be section 4, which is the Nike video, You Can't Stop Us advertisement. In media analysis part A, we will be covering the details that were found in the 7 marketing strategies. And I found this quote that says, "The more simple and raw these videos are, the more real they would feel to your audience, making it easier to create an emotional connection between you and your customers." I decided to put a picture of a pie and the slice of content that is being created out of the emotional connection pie, that most pieces of media are created through emotional connection. Another part of the media analysis takeaway when I was doing research is that I found that through psychological tactics, consumers are being engaged with as an extraction source or a battery. Using marketing initiatives to further establish an emotional connection is capitalism's disguise to build personhood in exchange for a customer's interest and attention. Another part, which is part 2, another piece of marketing analysis that I found when doing research, was that I noticed that engaging content weighs in heavily on the customers, is what I gathered from the further research from Investopedia when looking into CTAs, which are call to actions. For example, they said that advertisers have found that data from the CTA represents a prime opportunity for A/B testing, which tests that effectiveness of marketing methods, wording, and appearance matter for conversions. Whilst engaging their interactions, overall appearance is leveraged. So within this diagram, wording and appearance is the main thing. Data from CTA, customer engagement, and marketing methods are all entangled into one. The first is Media Source Breakdown 1. In this media source, we will be discussing a video from FD Signifier, and this is from his Signified B-Side channel. And the title of the video is The Real Reason Why Black Male College Enrollment is Dropping. This piece of media highlights multiple psychological strategies to create an engaging video for their perceived audience. To name 3 would include sparking their curiosity, being controversial, and being authentic in telling a story. He sparks curiosity through the video by proving a nuanced conversation about the controversial topic. By directly engaging in the information gap theory, he highlights the racist wording that will be often seen online about Black people not being educated, actively tacking into the controversial subject matter through a media trend of concern trolling. For context, concern trolling is about people antagonizing real topics with condescending remarks to further insult a marginalized group. In social media platforms, concern trolling exacerbates disingenuous attitudes online. FD Signifier says, I quote, "It is easy to hide contentment, anger, and hatred towards Black men. Concern trolling is saying, oh, I just want to uplift and fix Black men and confront their problems that Blacks present to the world." He does this by applying authenticity. He creates contrast of images and the societal treatment and speaks on this. Throughout the video, he inserts his authenticity, which is basically talking about his experience as a Black college educated man and father. And he also creates a breakdown of the topic itself. He states, "If there is one thing that is understudied is the challenges that Black prodigal sons amongst us. When we see these images of mentoring programs for Black boys, we make it seem that it is the entirety of what Black boys are being treated in society." With this quote, he strikes the topic in a different, unpredictable angle. Another piece of media that was chosen was an official trailer for Sinners. Sinners, which is a mixed genre horror film that is produced, directed, and written by Ryan Coogler. The most anticipated film from the acclaimed director was delightfully enjoyed by myself and a vast range of audiences. The trailer enlists multiple strategies of engagement. These strategies include speaking to the audience through emotions, telling a story, making the audience think, relatability, and hooking viewers into the introduction. Which makes the trailer successful and engaging is its ability to tell a story by giving bits and pieces of information without revealing too much. It forced the audience to braid together their own opinions about the multiple directions that the film can take upon viewing, with the innumerable details presented in using the marketing strategy by giving the gift that keeps on giving. The film creates a sense of relatability because it shows scenes that the audience can relate to. Overall, it draws the audience that have been a fan of Ryan Coogler's work in the past. Ryan Coogler in his film creates authenticity with each presented scene in the trailer. The scene of twin brothers hugging and the intimate moment of communicating care that is shared between them. Another scene that feeds into the authenticity of the film trailer is the young man walking into the church battered with a face full of trauma and scars. With this film being a horror drama, it hits on multiple points of fear, and that includes the scarred face, fire, and symbolism of a snake appearing. Per the assignment, the Nike advertisement utilizes the following engagement strategies: being relatable, utilizing visuals, mixing up content, and speaking to people's emotions, and most importantly, leveraging FOMO. The Nike advertisement spoke to the emotions of their audience when showing various athletes performing in their element on the court or field, the voiceover of unity and determination. By contrast, the advertisement shows angry athletes right after the speech of mentioning togetherness. Later on in the advertisement video, the visuals show shows empty stadiums being cleaned to drum up mixed emotions about the after effects of sports during the pandemic. When viewing athletes, the advertisement drums up emotions that align for their audience from support to internal insecurity. Through the insecurity of not buying Nike, the Nike advertisement leverages FOMO. The advertisement accomplished this by articulating that purchasing their product will provide a lasting symbol of endurance through a decorated athlete's passion. Through the contrast of images presented side by side, messages of various tones are being communicated to the audience at once. For example, side by side images of Venus and Serena Williams being focused before a match. This is achieved from a monotone voice that is communicating buzzwords folded into an impassioned story. The impassioned story is a generic, at best, with nuances of togetherness and globalism. Based on the strategic highlight reels of various athletes from various sports, the presented expressionless monotone voice contrasts itself in comparison to the split images that conjure messages.